Hi, I'm Liz Scully from the Franklin Conservation District. Today I'm here to teach you how to teach the watershed model activity. So first I'm going to go through these materials that you're going to be needing. Just remember that these materials are available to you from your local conservation district, so just let us know if you would like these materials delivered to you. So we're going to need 2 pieces of paper. We have a blue piece of paper. Doesn't look very blue in this light. There we go. Blue piece of paper and a white piece of paper. You want this to be pretty thick, pretty quality paper. You'll see why here in a moment. You definitely want your white paper to be thicker than your blue paper. I think the blue paper I have here is 20 pounds, while the white paper is 28 pounds. It's a little bit thicker. All right. Next, you're going to want a glue stick. My glue stick doesn't have a lid. Hopefully yours does. So you're going to want a glue stick, and you're going to want some vis-a-vis. You're going to want a blue vis-a-vis. This one's probably the most important in our watershed model activity because this is what represents the water. You're also going to want a red vis-a-vis. This represents cities and towns, buildings. Green represents farms. And black represents roads. Okay, so if you don't have these 3 colors, you can probably make do with some different colors to represent the things we want to represent here. But blue is pretty important. You need blue for the water. All right, what else do you need? You are also going to need a squirt bottle. I usually use warm water in my squirt bottle for this activity. I think it helps to make the vis-a-vis colors run a little bit. It's important you use those vis-a-vis because we want the colors to run on our model. And finally, I do recommend a good absorbent paper towel. Those brown classroom paper towels just don't really cut it very well for this activity. Okay, so again, all of these materials are available to you through your conservation district. All right, I'm going to show you now how to do this activity. So I'm going to put my screen down here so you can see my papers. Okay. All right, so our blue piece of paper represents water. Okay, our white paper represents land. This is what's going to be our watershed. The first thing I usually have the kiddos do is write their name on one of the corners of the blue piece of paper. And then I'm going to have my white piece of paper and I'm going to crumple it up into a little ball. Usually get some gasps with that one. Pretty exciting. All right, very important to stress the importance of being careful when we uncrumple because I rip this all the time. So just really be careful unfolding your white paper. If there are little rips on the side, no biggie. All right, then what we want to do is take our glue stick. We're going to put lots of glue on all 4 corners of your white piece of paper. We really want this to stick well. Okay, then we are going to paste it down. So I often say the closer we get our 4 corners together, the more like a mountain our model is going to be. And I think that really helps demonstrate what we're trying to show them in this activity. All right, so we've got our mountain. This is our watershed. Remember, a watershed is an area of land where all of the water that falls onto that land drains or sheds into the same big body of water. In this case, that's maybe like our ocean. All right, then we're going to get coloring with our vis-a-vis. So we're going to use blue again for water to represent water. When we're applying the blue marker to our models, we want it to be nice and thick. We want it to be on all the ridge lines. So the highest points on our model. I usually say, think about where the rain would hit first? If it just started to rain, where would that rain hit first? The very tops, the very tippy tops, the ridge lines. So really, like I said, make sure you got lots of marker, nice thick marker. I won't spend too much time on this, so you don't have to just sit here and watch me doing this, but give your students a few minutes because we really want a lot of marker. Okay, so once you're done with the blue marker, you are going to move to green. So green, again, represents farms. I usually like to make little rows like this to represent farms. Let your students be creative in the way they want to make their farms, cities, and roads. The point is that we get lots of color because the colors are what is going to represent our pollution in our watershed. So the more color, the better. The red, again, represents cities, towns, houses, businesses. Okay, and then finally, I'm going to use my black marker to connect the cities and the farms with roads. Pretty crazy roads all the way up on mountaintops. All right, over the river. All right, again, just lots of color. Okay, so then you are going to get your squirt bottle and you're going to go around and spray the tops of their models. Remind them to watch where the water flows. So I'm going to squirt, probably 10 to 15 good strong squirts. We really want the water to flow. We want to see those colors run. Okay, so we can notice things like water's running through valleys, water pools, maybe makes a little lake or a pond, in bowls. Okay, just watching where that water runs, and then noticing as the water runs down the model that it's picking up more and more colors as it goes along. So we've got kind of a mixture of colors. I've got like a purple over here. Usually they've got like a little puddle that's kind of black and icky. And so then you pose that question, well, what does that represent? And of course, the different colors represent pollution coming from the cities, farms, and roads in our watershed. So as water moves down through watershed, it picks up pollution with it, bringing it into bigger and bigger bodies of water and eventually into our ocean, which of course we don't want. So thank you for joining me. Have fun.